Shalom, classmates. I have recently, and rather unfortunately, been tasked with an assignment about deserts. Sorry. What I meant to say was that I'm just so excited to do this, and I've been dying to have any excuse to research about deserts. Kindmaster decided to butcher my previous attempt at this video, so I had to restart this entire thing over, and I'm doing it all again in one night before it's due. Isn't that nice? So I don't know if I'll be able to include everything I want, so if the video isn't funny, I'm sorry, I ran out of time. Anyway, editor me, do like a cool transition to the first section.
Ancient Egypt.
You know, just so many times in my life, like it's uncountable. You know, just how many times I've had someone come up to me and ask, do deserts have seasons? Now, when you first hear that question, you might be inclined to say no, but if you said that, you would be wrong! Deserts actually have two seasons. Most deserts have long, dry summers and short, more mild-temperatured winters. Cold deserts have the inverse of this, obviously, with long, bitter winters and shorter summers with more comfortable weather. During these times, what's the weather like? Well, in hot deserts, the average temperature is somewhere around 35 degrees Celsius, or if you live in America and tell temperature the correct way, that's about 95 degrees Fahrenheit. And in the winter, it's about -4 degrees Celsius or around 25 degrees Fahrenheit. In cold deserts, the hottest average temperature you'll see over the short summers is about 26 degrees Celsius or 79 degrees Fahrenheit. But for most of the year, that temperature is going to drop down to -10 degrees Celsius, which is about equivalent to 14 degrees Fahrenheit. Just to get this out of the way, the reason why it's so varied and I have to specify between hot and cold deserts is just because, as you can see on this convenient map I've placed right here on the screen, deserts are everywhere. They're all over the place, because the definition of a desert is just something that gets such minimal precipitation. So deserts are everywhere, which makes researching them really annoying. So there are also wet and dry seasons that are actually separate from the summer and winter months. In western, more arid and dry and just hot deserts, rain is expected from October to February, but that quickly tapers away from March to September. And then cold deserts, snow year-round, but they don't really get rain per se. And then just deserts, obviously, depending on what kind of desert it is, they'll have sandstorms or blizzards very frequently, as I'm sure you could have guessed. Oh yay, now I get to talk about plants. Let's just get this out of the way now. I decided to talk about exclusively plants and animals in American or just like Western deserts because I was late because I wanted to research what was familiar to me. So starting off this list of 5 plants, we have the saguaro cactus. You know, editor me, if I said that wrong, put in how you're supposed to say it, but I definitely said that right first try.
Saguaro.
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 The saguaro
Saguaro
is the most iconic desert plant. If you have seen any kind of Wild West depiction in the media, you've seen a saguaro cactus. They use their long, thick, trunks to hold an excess amount of water. Additionally, most of the tall saguaros that you see are probably hundreds of years old, as they grow roughly 1 inch a year. Which, I mean, to me, that's well above average, but like, whatever, I guess. So then we have tumbleweeds, and those are like not technically plants, but I'm talking about them anyways. So tumbleweeds form when a bush or other small plant just dries up so much that it becomes frail enough to snap off its base, and then it blows in the wind. And then the blowing, like, it's still good though, because it allows the plants to spread their seeds effectively. Since it's a desert, we have to talk about more than one cactus, of course, and now I'll be talking about the saguaro cactus's weird and inferior cousin that's actually more prevalent than the saguaro, the prickly pear cactus. So the prickly pear is a low-to-the-ground plant with frail little needles, and it actually gets its name from the small fruit bulbs that can form on top of it. Interestingly, not only are the bulbs entirely edible, but so are the cacti themselves. Desert lilies are next, and Kiki, I swear to God. Desert lilies are next, and these plants are skinny. I mean, we are talking speed-running anorexia. These lovely plants spawn white flowers that look nice, but that's not really what they're good for. No, rather they are plucked out of the ground to reveal its bulb that's not only highly nutritious, but also stores an exorbitant amount of water. Now, saving the best for last, we have, drumroll please,
All around me are familiar faces.
So for the last plant, I actually went with my second favorite plant ever, aloe vera. Aloe is actually kind of the backbone of most western deserts. It's super common, and its flesh is used as a food and water source, as well as, I'm sure you could have guessed, sunscreen. So animals will actually rub the flesh of the aloe all over their bodies to block themselves from getting sunburns, and this also moisturizes their skin, allowing them to get some water in their bodies too.
So why do good girls like bad guys?
Oh yeah, it's time to talk about animals. This is a rattlesnake. Rattlesnakes are highly venomous snakes that hide in sand or dirt effectively due to their scales colors.
You guys, I think it's a fall.
When threatened, they shake their tails. Said tails are made from several keratin plates. These plates then grind against each other when the snake shakes its tail, which makes the rattling noise. Wait, do you hear that? Well, maybe not, but I think the fennec fox hears you. You know, I think maybe editor me can just cut that one out. The fennec fox, like most desert animals, is nocturnal. They are predators with large, sensitive ears that they use to find prey. Typically, 2 to 10 of them will be living together in a cave at once. I am about to expose you to the biggest liar in nature, okay? This thing right here. The 9-banded armadillo, or like the 7 to 11-banded armadillo. In any case, the armadillo uses these bands to defend itself from any attacking predators. Roadrunners are the next animal I decided, and they are small birds that run across vast spaces at high speeds. Roadrunners are actually so adapted to the desert climate that they never need to drink any water in their life. They just get all the water they need from their food.
Thirsty, thirsty, Thursday. Yodeling, 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 yodeling.
Last, but certainly not least, we have the most iconic desert animal. The one, the only, the fantabulous, the fantastical, the beautiful desert tortoise.
Holy fuck.
I mean, what else would it be? These large boys are similar to most other tortoises. Their big difference being that due to their environment, they can store a lot of excess water in their bladder in the event that fresh water is not available. So, now that all that other junk has been established, what's some stuff you can actually do when you're in the desert? Who cares? I guess if you really must know, you can go hiking in the blazing sun all day, you can go off-roading, snowboarding, or even snowboarding, but it's in sand this time. Hey, can I copy off your homework? Yeah, just don't make it obvious. The homework. You know, in case I haven't thoroughly educated you enough on deserts, I'll let someone else talk about them for a little bit.
Hey, you there? Why don't you jump in next to me? Real Egyptian silk.
Never mind, that was a terrible idea, and it got out of hand immediately. At least he was talking about a desert, I suppose. So deserts are just cool because of the life that thrives in such arid conditions, the massive change in temperature from day to night that's caused by a lack of humidity, the fact that deserts are on every continent, and I was also explicitly told to include the fact that it has the second largest number of plant and animal species of any biome on the globe. I started working on this at around 6 p.m. It is now 1:34 a.m. Leave me alone.